people are going to roll in, but we're just going to accept them and they can join midway. So, Assalamu alaikum everyone. How is everyone doing? As usual, कोई response नहीं आता. मालूम था मेरे को ये.
Walaikum salam. I'm doing great.
Oh damn, someone's actually speaking. Ayan, Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
खैरियत.
Alhamdulillah.
क्या खाया नाश्ते में?
I don't know. It felt awkward. कोई भी जवाब नहीं दे रहे. मैं ही दे दी.
Exactly man. लोगों को समझना बात को, like proper कोई बात करे तो वापसी में जवाब देना and all of that. You know, सुन्नत भी है सलाम का जवाब देना, तो एटलीस्ट अगर मेरी बात नहीं सुनते तो सबसे एटलीस्ट सुन्नत भी सुनो. All right, so keeping my cheesy jokes aside, Umar, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
All right, so I think we can start with the session. Um, Again, hello everyone. Assalamu alaikum. We will be starting our cloud session now. I hope you guys are excited. Have you your notes, your pens, and all of your material out for noting down important stuff. We are going to be discussing the basics, which are quite as important as the actual material itself. And before we do start and jump into things, I want to give a brief introduction about the speakers which are going to be speaking today. The first speaker is myself. Let me just go ahead and introduce myself. That is, my name is Imaduddin Muhammad. Let me just open my camera. My bad. Where are my manners? Okay. Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Imaduddin Muhammad. I like to call myself an Azure enthusiast who likes working with, designing, and implementing cloud infrastructure solutions. तो आप लोग सोच रहे होंगे थोड़ा ज़्यादा इंग्लिश के टर्म्स आ जा रहे हैं, तो let me just make it simple for you guys. I'm an Azure certified Azure personnel who is an Azure administrator, and I also hold different certifications from Brocade as well. I love everything related to infrastructure and data centers, and I like and enjoy, and I am also an Azure VMware enthusiast as well. So that's a brief introduction about myself. Let me move on to some of my peers. We have Umar Wahid Khan, who's the second speaker over here with me. He is. Let me just pen my screen. Hold on. All right. So he is a cybersecurity personnel. He is certified cybersecurity and technician from ISC2, and also he is Cisco certified support technician in the cybersecurity track, that is CCST. He majorly dominates in the field of security and governance, also Active Directory. So any cyber related cloud questions, you can definitely reach out to him or me as well. I'm always here for you guys. Our third speaker who would be handling the chat today would be Rohina Moin, who is the GCP master, and she also holds around 1.5 years worth of experience in system administration. She has experience with Linux, Unix, and Windows. She has an extreme experience in Active Directory as well. So we will be the speakers for today, and I hope to have a very nice and an engaging session. Not like before, खाली एक बंदा mic खोल के बात करा. I want to have a conversation with you guys and not just another classroom. I want it to be highly interactive. Doubt sessions होने वाले हैं. They're going to be a lot of knowledge which will be thrown at you guys, but I want it to be absorbed by you in a very efficient and a nice manner. And if it doesn't, then you can always ask questions. We are here for questions, and we will answer them as soon as possible. So we will go ahead and start with our session now. Let me just quickly share my screen. And let me just warn you guys, this is a quite serious session. So we will be moving forward with that. So let me just go ahead and open my very serious presentation. Okay. So give me a minute. All right. So we have my very serious presentation over here. Okay, Omar, can you see my screen? Can people respond? And also, if you do not have your mics or you don't have access to your mics, you can definitely spam emojis and you can utilize those to your benefit. So just whatever you, whenever you can, just don't make me feel like I'm talking to myself. Pagal na karte ho. And I'm not a pagal. I do not speak to myself. I'm speaking to people who are who are in the chat, and also live people who are in this call. So definitely don't make me feel like I'm talking to myself. I'm not. I'm talking to you guys. So definitely just keep that in mind. So let's start my very serious session at right now. So day one, cloud computing. So what do you guys let me just hold on. Let me pull people from and ask them questions. I like this part. Um, you know what? Let me not make people uncomfortable. And what do you guys know about cloud computing? Can anyone answer? Come on, please. Any answer works, even if it's right, wrong, guesses. I do not mind any answer. I just want you guys to have an interaction with me.
Offering computing services that are not present on the site.
Yeah, sure. So that's Sayed Harris. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, crazy. That is exactly the answer. Quite a bookish answer, but yeah, that is the exact answer which you are looking for. Shit, my bad. My screen share karna thoda ek second. That is pretty correct. Sayed Harris, that's nice. So, what Sayed Harris told is the exact definition of cloud computing. That's just the tip of the iceberg. We will be going through a lot more deeper, but don't be intimidated. We're going to make it very easy to understand and easy to digest. So just stay with me, okay? Just stay with me. I'm going to make it easy. Loga non-stop are, so let me just uh, roll them in as well. So let's, before we deep dive into the cloud aspect, there's also someone who's going to be joining us in today's session. That is one of my very good friends, Abdul Karim. It's okay. So this guy is Abdul Karim. He's my one of my really good friends. I've known him for the past 2 years, and he is quite a good friend of mine. And he's quite nice. He's a good boy. And the problem with his though, he has a really bad he has a bad habit. Okay, his bad habit is he's really desperate to get married. तो उसको शादी करना है, and he's quite desperate and quite thirsty, to be honest. So he wants to get married, right? So what he's doing is, let me just share his bio data with you guys. Hold on. So this is his biodata. Quite a serious biodata for a physical computer. His name is Abdul Karim Jabbar. He is made by the brand IBM, and his father's name is Abdul Hamid. He is also made by the brand IBM. So currently he is unemployed. Okay, and that is a very big reason of why he's not getting married and he's not getting rishte. So we need to help him get employed, right? And how do you do that? You need to have a job. How do you get a job? You get skills. So Abdul Karim will be joining us for the entire 7 sessions, sharpening his skills of cloud, and maybe, only as maybe, if he does sharpen his skills to the point that he gets a job, maybe he might also get married in the next 7 days. So definitely, if you can see his qualifications and his requirements over here. If definitely you guys do have rishtas, please send them my way. He's looking for a MacBook or an iMac to get married to, and yeah, so definitely he's definitely interested. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's definitely for Abdul Karim and
yeah, not for me, not for me though. Definitely not for me. I mean, for my boy. Okay, that's it. Let's move on forward, and we'll continue the session. Remember, Abdul Karim is a physical computer. He's not a virtual machine. He's a physical IBM computer. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, this is quite serious. Let's be serious and move on. Okay. Okay, so we have Abdul Karim again on the side. He's going to be joining us for the entire PPT session. Let's just keeping him aside. Let's just discuss the agenda of the meeting and today's session. So our session consists of 4 bullet points. We have the concept sprint, where we quickly discuss about the cloud topics and the important cloud fundamentals and the basics of cloud. The second point is the career anchor. Everything related to the cloud career will be cleared in this session. Then we have an actual hands-on session so that you actually get your hands dirty and learn about cloud. And then we have a final recap session in the end. So definitely have a lot on our plate, but don't be scared. We will be going very slowly so that everyone is on the same page, and everything is easily just laid out for you guys, and you just have to just understand what I'm saying. मैं थोड़ा हिंदी में बात करता हूँ, and also I'm going to be speaking in English as well for the convenience of everyone. So let me just go ahead and quickly deep dive into the first bullet point. So even here, Abdul Jabbar is highly excited to learn cloud and to get a good job and further to get rich there. So moving on. Yeah. So as we discussed earlier, what cloud computing was and how Abdul Syed, what was his name? Syed Haris, very beautifully and very smartly described. Cloud computing refers to the delivery of cloud services, computing services over the internet. So अब ये आप लोग सोच रहे हैं अरे कितने क्रेजी इंग्लिश के वर्ड्स है, बड़े बड़े समझ में नहीं आ रहे. Let me break it for you. um, if you want to have an organization, ठीक है, like suppose कोई organization है, suppose Google है. Google needs to have a lot of servers. Why do you need servers? To host their websites, to host their services जो वो लोग provide करते हैं, like Gmail, like notebook LLM, Gemini, etc. So they need a lot of compute power. Compute power का मतलब क्या है? Like servers, storage, data centers, and infrastructure, and etc. Infrastructure means a collection of all of the hardware placed inside a room. It's called an infrastructure. So infrastructure is highly needed in today's times. So a cloud computing क्या करता? It delivers these infrastructure like servers, storages, databases, etc., over the internet. So you what does this mean over the internet? You don't need to go ahead and buy these infrastructure hardware upfront. You can just go ahead to these cloud providers or cloud public cloud members and rent out. Hold on, who's this? Okay, so you don't need to. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. You don't need to go ahead and buy these hardware upfront. You can just go ahead and click few buttons, and boom, you have compute over there as well. So that is basically what cloud computing is. Cloud computing is the delivery of cloud services, compute services over the internet. Anyone can rent out these services. You just need to click a few buttons, and you should know how to configure those, of course. And you boom, you have your infrastructure all in front of you. So over here, the second point you can see over here is instead of owning the expensive hardware, users can access these resources whenever they need them, wherever they need them. But you just have to pay for them, of course. It's not free. So what you're doing here is you are renting out this infrastructure and not buying it completely. When you buy it, it's completely yours, right? आपकी maintenance रहती है, आप हर चीज आप deal करते. You have to configure everything. You have to get it home. You have to get it in your organization. You have to connect everything, maintain its connectivity, maintain the entire infrastructure, deal with power, deal with cooling, deal with all of these factors. But in cloud, you can just click a few buttons. Everything else is dealt by the cloud provider, and you just have to manage manage your infrastructure. So that's the basic meaning of cloud computing. I'm being very easy to understand, and I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. We had a question in chat. Hold on, let me read that out. So, okay, so Curious Coder, nice name, but it'll be better if we had your real names. Is asking about the cloud service which is being used in the entire course. We will move on to that. Just bear with me for the basics, and then we'll definitely let you know in this session itself which cloud provider we'll be using. So just definitely hold on for a few minutes. Just understand what I'm saying, and then we can definitely go for the hands-on and reveal to you guys what cloud provider we are using. So in today's times, there are three major cloud providers. There is AWS, there's Azure, and there's GCP. Three major cloud providers. So they are used for the renting out the compute power, and they are used by multiple um, uh, companies and organizations to rent out their compute power as well. They are highly reliable, and they are cost effective and absolutely accessible at any time. That's why they are the big three. They're known as the big three. So we I think we did have a few logos. Yeah, you can see the AWS logo here, Microsoft Azure, and the GCP. And we have the Oracle Cloud, which is not so popular but is gaining popularity in the Gulf as we speak. So this is the big three, or in this case, the big four. But Oracle is not as popular as the three which I mentioned right now. So I hope you guys understand what cloud is, and I feel like I've been yapping for a long time now. So, do you guys have any questions as of now? Anyone? Any question? Come on. The question in chat, yeah, we'll definitely respond to that. But other than that, is there any questions? You can type in chat, or you can ask me right here. Anything? Come on, guys. Okay, so I guess I'm speaking to myself again. So, nobody has any doubts? Which one is the best out of three? Okay, so there is no best or worst in this situation. Everything has its own advantages and disadvantages. I do not, me personally, I have bias because I'm already certified in Azure. So I would prefer Azure at any day. And I absolutely despise AWS. I hate AWS to its core. And AWS is my arch nemesis. Um, Other than that, GCP, it's fine, I like it. And AWS, I absolutely hate that. So Azure is my go-to. And we'll see about what we can do. So definitely, if anyone does not have any more questions, we will move on, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, so let's just move ahead and go for the next question. So I hope Abdul Karim Jabbar also understood the topic. I hope he understood. He definitely understood. We don't need to worry about it. Okay. So what are the three cloud models? Okay. So यहाँ पे थोड़ा अब्दुल जब्बार करीम सो गया था, तो उसको उठा देंगे साला. Okay. So what are the three cloud models? There in the field of cloud, yeah, there are different cloud models. There is public cloud, private cloud, and there is hybrid cloud. So you might be wondering what these cloud models are. Let me make it very simple for you to understand. Public cloud is a cloud which can be shared by multiple people over the internet. And this type of cloud, the best example for this type of cloud is AWS, Azure, and GCP. Let me break it down with an example. Suppose I am a user of AWS, which that's not possible. I mean, no, let's just go ahead. I'm the user of Azure, and Umar is also a user of Azure. He has his own organization, I have my own organization, and we both are sharing resources from Azure. That is an example of public cloud. We are using the compute power of Azure over the internet. So he's renting out his compute resources, I'm renting out mine, and hence Azure is considered as a public cloud. So whereas the private cloud has its own definition. Private cloud is used by a single organization. Hear me out very carefully what I'm saying. Private cloud is used by a single organization for their own purpose and cannot be accessed by anyone else over the internet. Okay? So basically, we if private cloud is private cloud, I'm going to answer that question, Agent Rob. Just bear with me, just 2 minutes. Private cloud, basically, if we have an organization which has a lot of sensitive data or sensitive information being stored, you definitely can't trust. uh, you can trust, but you prefer not to trust these public cloud models, right? Because they can have outages, they can have security breaches. They never had any security breach as of today, but you always have that optimistic view, right? So you built your own infrastructure in-house infrastructure. So that's private cloud, that's your own infrastructure, it's private. Okay? Hybrid cloud, it is a combination of public cloud and private cloud all mixed together. So there are organizations who would private cloud is not really self-hosted, but it's private. Just keep in mind the private cloud is an infrastructure which is in-house completely. It's your infrastructure, you're not sharing it with anyone. If it's a single user, yes, it's yours completely. If it's an organization, it's only your organization who's going to be using it. Nobody else is going to be using that infrastructure. Unlike in public, everyone can be using that infrastructure over the internet. In private, only your organization is going to be using that. Just keep that in mind. That's all you need to know in this topic. Hybrid is a combination of both. Suppose an organization has some sensitive data, but majority of their day-to-day operations can be done using public cloud, and you can just rent out compute resources over the internet. But some of the data is still sensitive, right? So they can mix private and public both to form hybrid. So public plus private equals hybrid. That's basic thing you need to know. That's it. I hope this answers all your questions. Hold on. We had a question from Agent Raw about asking about which is the most complex to learn. See, there is nothing called there's nothing related to complexity in this situation. Exactly. All cloud providers are one and the same. Basically, it's the only thing which is different is the terminologies they use. What do I mean by terminologies? Suppose in Azure, for for a machine, you want to rent out a machine, right? You want to rent out a server. You call it virtual machine in Azure. You call it EC2 engine in AWS. Uh, So Curious Coder just mentioned Azure. AWS has more services than Azure and GCP. Yes, they do, but are they good? Are they not being having a lot of outages? Don't you think Azure AWS is just had a recent outage in Bahrain? They got stuck. Their data center got stuck in Bahrain. Is that correct? So their entire Bahrain region was down for almost a lot of days. So that can't be ignored as well, right? You need to keep all of the aspects in your head when you're learning stuff, right? So when you talk about AWS, GCP, and Azure, again, I'm mentioning every single cloud provider has its advantages and disadvantages. So you want to have a cloud provider which you truly believe in, and as of now, we AWS is having a lot of services. I understand that, but it's also has its disadvantages, which I don't want to get into right now. So definitely, that's. I hope that answers the question. And talking about ease of learning, that was a question by Agent Raw. There's that I hope that answers the terminology thing, that answers your question as well. Everything is similar and everything is the same, but there is minor differences. If you learn one, you can learn the other one in half of the time. So definitely just get your basics done first. and then we can build upon and sharpen our skills for the individual cloud providers. No hate to any cloud provider. I respect all three. They are all nice, but yeah, we will go ahead and just get our basics done first. So moving on, anyone has any doubts in the cloud models?
Yeah, we had Haris who asked if private cloud is self-hosted.
Okay, so I did answer that. My private cloud is not really self-hosted, but it's private cloud is just your infrastructure, right? So your infrastructure, when you suppose you want to host a website, right? You will be responsible for the entire infrastructure. That's private cloud. Nobody can access that infrastructure over the internet, or no, without your permission, or it's only meant for you. Nobody else can access it other than you. So I don't know what you mean by self-hosting exactly, but it's only meant for you and nobody else. So that's, I hope that answers your question. Sayed Haris, yes.
By self-hosted, I meant that am I maintaining the infrastructure by myself, or or am I renting it out?
Okay, so see, yes, in really nice question, said Haris. Private cloud. When you talk about private cloud, right? Private cloud is a cloud where you are responsible for everything you're doing. It's your infrastructure. You're not renting it out. You're buying the hardware, physically setting it up, having a proper data center or a server room in your house or your organization. You're having a data center with power, cooling, actual compute, and wiring, cabling, and etc. So, if anything, God forbid, anything goes wrong, nobody else is responsible. Only you are responsible. You and your organization's employees are responsible, and you have to figure it out. Whereas in the field of public cloud, when you rent out something from a cloud provider like AWS or Azure, you are only renting it out. It's their responsibility for the power, it's their responsibility for the cooling, it's their responsibility for the cabling, and the networking, etc. Everything else is managed by them. You're just renting it out. If anything goes wrong, it's their responsibility, not yours. Understood? Okay. So really nice question asked by Sayed. I want these type of questions, guys. Come on. I want quality questions, and yeah, we can move on if everything's all right. Should we move on? Come on, spam, spam, spam. Okay. So moving on um, to the next slide. You never know, man, where this Abdul Karim guy is gonna pop up. Anyways, so the next question which arises is again, why do we need cloud? क्यों क्या जरूरत है इसकी? We can just set up our own infrastructure. It's going to cost a lot of money, but it's fine. We have a lot of money. What is your argument then? We have a lot of arguments. In fact, this is a question which is really important from the interview point of view and the certifications point of view, and we can definitely go into that. So cloud computing lets people use compute resources over the internet instead of buying it upfront. Before we get into the advantages of why we need cloud, you guys need to understand two terms. One of the term is capital expenditure. अब थोड़ा थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स जा रहे हैं हम लोग. Just bear with me. It's very easy to understand. Don't be scared of these complex terms. I'm going to be making it very easy. Capital expenditure and operational expenditure. CapEx and OpEx. CapEx is the expenditure which you put upfront to buy this hardware. Suppose you have an organization, you're setting up a new company. You have to have its own infrastructure, right? You need to buy servers, you need to buy cabling, you need to buy a proper space, you need to have power, you need to have cooling to keep everything running smoothly. So what you're doing, the money you're putting in upfront is the capital expenditure. Okay? And the in For operational expenditure, it can be defined as the subscription based payment you pay to the cloud provider to keep your infrastructure operational. गौर से सुनो मैं क्या बोल. Capital expenditure is the upfront amount you pay to buy hardware for your own infrastructure. Operational expenditure is the money which you pay, which is a subscription based money which you pay to keep the infrastructure, your infrastructure operational. So if you stop paying that, then your entire infrastructure is it's put on hold. You can't access that. So in when we talk about cloud computing, it highly reduces your capital expenditure, and uh, it gives you an operational expenditure. This operational expenditure is fraction of the price of the capital expenditure. So I hope you guys understood these terms. Write these terms down. Whatever I mentioned, definitely, I hope you guys have written it down somewhere. And if you guys have any doubts, definitely you can text, you can ask right now, or you can put it in the chat. So these are the two terms which you need to keep in your mind. What Yeah, so moving on from these two terms, it helps you save money across, allows access from data from anywhere. So let's move on from these two terms and come to different terms. Okay, these are important terms again which I'm about to say. Cloud computing is highly scalable. Okay, highly scalable, accessible, and reliable. Okay, these three terms are quite important. Scalable matlab, let me give you an example. You have an infrastructure of your own organization. Okay, you bring in servers, cabling, storage, and all. You set up a proper your connectivity, and you plug it in. Everything works. Everything's smooth. You use it for a year. Okay, everything's working fine. It's good. But you come onto a problem where you need to scale that infrastructure, right? Your business is booming. Okay, it's quite good. You're getting in the money, but as of now, you need to scale that infrastructure so that you can make more money, right? So you need to expand it. You need to make it bigger. For this, you need to go out, buy the hardware again, pay the money for the actual hardware, bring it back home, and connect everything together. Make sure everything's on the same page, connect it to the power, and configure everything properly. Everything needs to be done by you. Okay? Whereas this is known as scalability. In the field of cloud, scalability is pressing a few buttons. That's it. You sit at home, you log into your cloud provider, you go into the console, click a few buttons, done. Your boom. That's it. Your entire infrastructure is highly scalable. So the your infrastructure can be scaled within minutes. So that's why it's known as the cloud computing is highly scalable. Highly scalable. Write this down somewhere. Highly scalable. And what do you mean by highly accessible? um your infrastructure when you are away. Okay, um suppose you have your infrastructure in India. You go to Dubai, and you're going out for a nice vacation to have a nice chill weekend. And you're in your hotel. You imagine you're in a swimming pool. Okay, and you're swimming around. It's a nice hot day. The water is cool, and it's fun. Okay, you're having your drink in your hand. Suddenly you're scrolling, you get your message that your website is down. Okay, your entire business is down, and you don't have anything to do. You're in Dubai, your infrastructure is in India. So at that point of time, your business is down. You can't do anything except if you're running it alone. This is when you're running it alone. You don't have an organization. If you if you were using cloud, all you had to do was to go in the cloud provider, reset the servers manually. You can just click a few buttons, reset the server, and boom, you're online again. So there is minimal downtime. So what does this mean? Your infrastructure is highly accessible. Accessible ka matlab, it can be accessed anytime, anywhere. So there's no restrictions for based on location or time or anything like that. Cool. So yeah, I hope that is easy to understand. And reliability can be explained in the following way. Basically, suppose आपका infrastructure है, right? आपका खुद का infrastructure. It's good to have your own infrastructure. I'm not telling it's bad, but sometimes the quality of the hardware matters a lot. ठीक है? कभी भी the hardware can fail due to its age or poor maintenance and all of that. It can definitely affect your business. But when we talk about cloud, right? If something does go wrong, if something does, God forbid, happen to your infrastructure in the cloud, like from the cloud, so that's cloud provider's mistake, right? It's not our mistake. If their compute is poorly managed, it's not our mistake. So what they do is they have a concept of redundancy. So what is this redundancy? Redundancy is when you have multiple things of the same configuration in place if something goes wrong. Okay, मैं simple language में समझा दूं. I have two phones. Okay, I have one phone. Okay, this phone can be used to suppose run my business. Okay, in your normal infrastructure, this phone, if it goes down या कुछ हो जाता है phone को, there's nothing else you can do. Okay, but in the concept of cloud computing, when you have when you're setting up this phone, there's automatically another phone set up. So if something happens to this phone, if this phone goes down, this phone is automatically there for you. It's automatically हर चीज, everything is gets shifted to this phone. So this is called redundancy. Redundancy is used to reduce downtime. These are important terms I want you to understand. Redundancy is used to reduce downtime. So I hope I'm being very clear. Okay. So um, and I hope I'm the stuff I'm saying is not confusing. If it is, it's come on, man. Just ask questions. I'm here, and we can move on. Okay. So, does anyone have any questions? Come on, man. पूछो यार questions. I don't get it. You mic खोले तो like shyness feel होती है, क्या होता है? Like I don't, प्रॉब्लम क्या है मेरे को समझ में नहीं आती ब्रो. लोगों को माइक खोलना क्यों नहीं पसंद? That's actually crazy. खैर, so we're going to power through and let me just convince myself that I'm not talking to myself. Okay.
No, I think सबको clear है.
Yeah. Everything's clear. Everything's clear. Everyone is listening to me. Everyone's attending the session. Okay. Let's go. Okay, we move to the next session and we move to the next slide. My bad. Okay. So another question. This थोड़ी complexity बढ़ने वाली है, and don't be scared. We will power through, and I'm going to make it again very easy for you to understand. So what we have here are the question we have here is, what are the cloud service models? So I think many of you guys already know some of these service models, but again, we need to brush up on these topics. There are three service models currently in cloud. There is IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. IaaS is basically infrastructure as a service. Okay? IaaS, that's infrastructure as a service. What is PaaS? That is platform as a service. And SaaS is software as a service. So the basically what infrastructure as a service is. Can anyone answer this? What is infrastructure as a service? Anyone? Any guesses? I don't mind it. I don't mind wrong answers. I don't mind correct answers. I don't mind actually if you just want to have a chat. I don't even mind about that. I just want people to speak to me. Nobody has any idea. Okay, so I think you guys don't know about this, but I'll make it easy for you to understand. IaaS, that's infrastructure as a service, provides infrastructure as a service to the customer. Get it? I want you to understand very carefully. Suppose अपना एक cloud provider है, ठीक है? Let's assume AWS. AWS में है and you are renting out an EC2 engine. ठीक है? आप EC2 engine बनाए, आप you hit deploy. You have that EC2 engine with you. What you have with you over here is an EC2 engine, right? Of course, it's just a virtual machine. When you have that EC2 engine, that is an infrastructure which you are getting as a service through the internet from the cloud provider. I hope you guys understand. So whenever someone speaks about infrastructure as a service, I want you to keep this in mind. The first thing that should come to your mind is a virtual machine. Okay? Yeah, एक EC2 engine. That's the first thing that should come to your mind. Okay? Second, let's talk about platform as a service. Platform as a service is a service which is given by the cloud providers to the developers. That is a platform for the developers to run their applications without worrying about the actual hardware. तो let me just give you an example. आप VS Code बना खोले, ठीक है? आप VS Code खोले, crazy coding typing करके पाइथन जावा यो उसमें डाल के crazy website को कब कर दिया, crazy ऐसी भयानक वाली website बना दिए, and you're extremely proud of it, and then you can just click go live and then it deploys in your local host crazy, and वो बन गया आपका. Now people can't view that because localhost mein you need to deploy it somewhere, right? You need a server to deploy that, and for that you need to have compute, you need a server. So what you do in this situation is you can use in the concept of Azure something like Azure App Service. What is Azure App Service? Is a service provided by Azure for developers to host their web apps. Okay, so what you need to do is just push your code to GitHub की repo यहाँ पे attach कर देना. It's very easy because everything is owned by Microsoft. So it's you can connect your GitHub repo over here and you can just manage everything, and everything is up and running. You don't need to worry about that. So what you're having here is a platform to host your applications without worrying about the actual hardware. So that's the example of PaaS. So basically अपन जो Vercel में करते हैं, how we free ऐसा free deploy कर देते हैं अपन, and you can just deploy your website in Vercel for free. Vercel can be considered as a platform as a service. I hope that answers what the platform as a service is. And SaaS, I think everyone knows what SaaS is. SaaS is software as a service, which allows users to access software solutions online from anywhere. So software as a service, basically examples for software as services, Gmail, Word, Excel, etc. So any application which is used by many over the internet or over to get stuff done is software as a service. It can be installed on their devices or it can be used by downloading as well. So there are some examples we have here which come under the IaaS, PaaS and SaaS. We have VMs, that is मैं भी बोला आपको EC2 engines या VMs come under IaaS. Storage accounts, that आपको मैं थोड़ा सा आगे जाके समझाता हूँ. We will, don't worry, we will individually go into these details. ये जो services है, we will go into these services individually, and we will look into that as well. Just understand the fact that जो app service की जो मैं definition बताया था अभी, what I explained about this, it comes under platform as a service. And SaaS का you have the example of Gmail, you have the example of Dropbox, Office 365, etc. So our very good friend Abdul Khalil has a question here. Umar, can you read the question out loud?
So basically, he's asking if I was a virtual machine, I would come under IaaS.
So yeah, so over here, Abdul Karim is asking. Abdul Khalil is Asim Patel. Yes, did someone raise the hand?
Yes, I think Asim wants to answer the question.
Sure, answer the question. You can answer the question. You can answer him. Don't worry. Anyone? Yes or no? If he was a virtual machine, would he come under IaaS? Anyone wants to answer? Yes or no? You can just answer yes or no. Yes, that is correct. QS code. That was a good one. So, yeah, definitely IaaS. Um, that's correct. Remember in the start, I told you Abdul Khalil Jabbar was a physical computer. He's not a virtual machine. He's a physical machine. And if he's considering that if he was a virtual machine, um, he would be considered as an infrastructure as a service. So that's the question answered, which was asked by him, and we will move on if there are no queries. Um, any queries, anything you want to ask, anything you want to discuss, anything you want opinions on, can be asked right now. Chat में या यहाँ पे कहीं भी. Come on, guys. Render and railways comes under. Okay. So yeah, yeah. Okay. So there's a question. So, yeah. So Sheikh Adnan asked a question about render and railways comes under which service, as most people host backend. So yeah, render is used for hosting the backend, and it's mostly used because it's free. And yeah, these all I think these all come under platform as a service because people are using it to develop their web apps, and it's a platform for developers to run their uh, websites and web apps without worrying about the hardware. That's exactly what I mentioned. I hope, but I'm not sure about render and railways. I'm pretty sure about Vercel. The Asim Patel asked about the storage devices like pen drive and all. Yeah. So what we are discussing here are cloud service models and not physical. So and we're not talking about physical devices. So your physical devices are uh, it's owned by you. It's not provided by a cloud provider. So pen drives and storage devices are not considered in this scenario. So I hope you guys understood. These are good questions, man. Come on. I like this energy. Let's keep it up. And let me see how many people are here. Hold on. We have 19 people. Okay. So if nobody has any doubts, yes, Sayed Haris, you have any doubt?
Where do containers, like for example Docker,
Mhm.
where does Docker fall between these three?
Docker is not a cloud provider. It's a tool used, and it's not related to cloud, but it is highly used in cloud for creating Docker images and all that. So I'm not sure in which service it falls in, but I think it also falls into platform as a service. So have to research about that, and Umar can confirm and let you know about which service does Docker fall into. I'm pretty sure if it does fall into a service, it mostly would fall under platform as a service. Other than that, we will see about that. Umar, please answer the question in chat. Anyone else? Okay, done. No questions. Again, curious coder. Yeah, I'll let you know about just a few more slides, two or three more slides, and we'll see about the cloud provider. Okay. At present, we would be using Azure we have a good reason to use Azure, and we would be utilizing their free student program. So Azure has their free student program where you can set it up very easily. And now you might be wondering that even AWS gives free credits, right?
क्यूरियस कोडर आप बस एक 3-4 slides के लिए you can wait and we are actually going to come to this and we'll have a discussion on why we are using Azure and why not AWS or GCP, if that's fine.
All right. So yeah, curious coder, I like your enthusiasm about AWS, but
Sif, 3 more slides, just wait
just
for 3 more slides.
hold on. Please hold on. I like your enthusiasm and I like your reasons as well, and they are really nicely written. But just hold on and hear us out why we are using Azure, and just please stay with us. Okay. Let me just quickly wrap up the last slide for the concept sprint. Okay, so the last slide for the concept sprint would be the shared responsibility model. Anyone has any idea about what the shared responsibility model is? Okay, I didn't think so. So, Aman?
I think shared responsibility is like how much responsibility the user who is taking the cloud services and the provider who is providing the cloud service share. Like the
Damn,
responsibility is split between them.
I'm
So
actually crazy.
changes.
That's exactly what it is. Shared responsibility model is a model, a visual model, which is used to show the trend of the responsibility as we go left to right. Okay, it shows the responsibility that the customer holds and the responsibility that the cloud provider holds. So we have a shared responsibility model here where we can see the different service models and the in-house let me go ahead here, in-house infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Let's just go ahead and break this down. What basically is going on here? So when you have your in-house enterprise, just ignore the enterprise IT. Just imagine that this is your infrastructure, entirely yours, nobody else's. This is a private cloud you're having at your organization or in in-house lab environment, all of that. Over here, the entire responsibility, the end-to-end responsibility is being managed by the customer or the user or you alone. Nothing, there's no involvement of the cloud provider over here. Okay, everything from data centers, networking, storage, servers, virtualization, operating system, database, security, and applications, everything is handled by you. Nobody's responsible if it goes down, or if it's doing well, or if it's not doing well, or if everything is stagnant. Nobody is responsible. You are responsible of what you do with it. Okay, now we have infrastructure as a service. What did I tell you when I talk about infrastructure as a service? Infrastructure as a service comes, the first thing that should come to your mind is virtual machines. Virtual machines. What do you think virtual machines? How is the responsibilities being shared? So when you talk about virtual machines, the data center, about the networking, the storage, the servers, and the virtualization, all of these things are being managed by the cloud provider, and the operating system. When naturally, when you think about a virtual machine, your operating system or the database or the security of the virtual machine and the application, everything is being handled by you, not the cloud provider. आप हैंडल कर रहे हैं, राइट? ये सब चीज़ें आप उसका ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम सेट कर रहे हैं, आप उसका डेटाबेस सेट मैनेज कर रहे हैं, आप उसकी सिक्योरिटी मैनेज कर रहे हैं. If it's being exploited by someone's third party, or any hacker or something, you are responsible for it, no one else. Okay, and you are responsible for the applications you put on it and etc. So customers के blue से यहाँ पे signify कर रहे हैं, and cloud provider का gray से यहाँ पे signify कर रहे हैं. I hope that is clear. Platform as a service, over here you can see I told platform as a service में you should think about Azure App Services. Azure App Services में you over here you can see only the applications or the web apps are being managed by the customer. ठीक है? I told you, you just don't need to worry about the hardware. The entire hardware is the cloud provider's responsibility, and cloud providers are going to be taking care of it. And the applications, the web apps are the responsibility of the consumer or the user. Okay? And software as a service में you are not responsible for anything. Are you responsible for something in Google, Gmail? If something goes wrong in Gmail, are you responsible? No. We just use Gmail. We just use it for our own benefit, and we do not care about the actual hardware or the or anything like that. So everything is taken care by the cloud provider or the organization. So what do you observe when we go left to right? We observe that the customer's responsibility diminishes as we go left to right. That's something we need to take account, and you just have to understand that software as a service may the consumer's responsibility turns to zero. So I hope it is clear. I hope you understood this shared responsibility model. Quite an important thing from the certifications point of view. Not so important in the interviews, but would be a cherry on top. And yeah, so if everything is clear, if you guys have any doubts, definitely you can ask those. If not, then we can move on forward for the next bullet point. Okay. Okay, so Sheikh Adnan Heather asked a question. So in hackathons, we create a web app so it becomes a SaaS for the user. It depends what type of web app you created. Suppose you created a crazy web app that can host different website without suppose you created a website. Okay? This is actually a good idea. Um, you created a website which uses AWS. It directly connects to AWS, and it uses it automatically hosts the users web apps on top of your web app. So basically, users can dump in all of their files, and those files are being dumped on AWS, but you don't show that it's being dumped on the AWS. So at that point of time, it becomes platform as a service, not software as a service. But if you just make a small web app, most of the web apps come under software as a service. So that I hope that answers your question. So like crazy wale andar, if you go in deep into it, then it becomes a platform as a service. But most of the hackathon project which we create at our level does come under software as a service. Okay, so the next bullet point is quite an important one. It's a question being answered is being asked by um, Abdul Karim, and he is going to be asking these type of questions. So from this is then the next bullet point which we entered, and this questions would be answered by Umar. Umar, you can take the stage now. I would be muting myself.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you guys have enjoyed this session so far. I hope you guys have understood the basic concept of what cloud is and the different types of clouds and the different ways we can use cloud and the services that are being provided by cloud. But this brings us to the question, why should we even study cloud? Like there's so many other domains that were there. There was AI/ML, there was cybersecurity, there was web dev. Why cloud specifically? And this is something where I come into the picture and I try to market cloud, but Let's see what questions Abdul Karim has. And Imad, are you on the phone or?
Okay, so Abdul Karim, I had a phone call with Abdul Karim, and he asked me a few questions. He's asking me, hold on. He sent in a few questions, and he wants you to answer those.
Okay, yeah, sure. You can go ahead. Should I?
नहीं बोले तो भी थोड़ा बहुत शाना बन रहा है ना नहीं बोले तो खैर um,
Okay. Let me see what questions Abdul Karim has
he's
got.
saying he's saying he wants to get married. Yeah. So how
Sure.
why should I even study cloud? His laptop, as we already saw his qualifications, his laptop already has storage. So he's asking that. So can you answer that real quick?
Yeah, this is where he's exactly wrong, and maybe this is also the reason why he's not getting married, because from the past few hours we've been discussing that cloud isn't just a storage. And in case you guys also have a doubt, you guys can definitely ask doubts. But why is Abdul Karim asking this? The thing about cloud is it's not just a storage. Most people, they hear about the word cloud and they immediately think, oh, is it a Google Drive, or is it just like iCloud or any storage? But the thing about cloud is it goes beyond just storage. When you look at apps like Instagram, Netflix, Spotify, even apps like YouTube or ChatGPT, basically all of these, they run on cloud infrastructure. So when you stream a movie, upload a photo, join a Zoom call, all this happens on cloud. So it's not just some random technology that you're studying the backbone of where internet is placed on. This what why he needs to study cloud.
Exactly.
And also the main reason that is for him to get married.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, okay, I think he understood that. Um, but the next question he's asking is he's not sure, but he wants to know what actually cloud is. तो अभी तक जो अपन बोल रहे थे हवाला सुन रहा नहीं था, तो can you just can you please repeat it again for
Okay, yeah.
for him?
So let me try to track back and try to explain this to him with the help of a layman example. ठीक है? Hopefully, at least इतना अगर समझ में आ गया, maybe he can, there is a chance, or else नहीं तो मुश्किल है honestly.
मुश्किल है honestly मुश्किल है
Yeah,
brother.
मुश्किल है. So let's suppose कि you're going to school, ठीक है, Abdul Karim. I hope he's listening now. So
Yeah.
you're going to school, and there they ask you to bring your own bench, your own fan, your own table, your own everything. Basically, you bring your own school to the school. That's what is a concept that was happening before. Now, what the thing is, the school provides you all the services that you need to study. The concept of school is that you need to study and you need to get good marks. So when you think of it as such, cloud is something that is providing us services so that we can run what we intend to do. We forget all the noise, we forget about the servers, the storage, the repairing, maintenance, we forget about all that, and we focus on providing services, our applications. So instead of imagining that every company would have to buy their own servers, maintain them, cool them, or secure them, that would not only make it difficult for them, it would also cost huge amount of money and time. And we do not have that much time. Let's suppose me as an 18-year-old, I want to start a startup. I cannot waste my time buying huge data centers or electricity or softwares, knowing that I don't even know if the startup is going to be successful. So this is where you don't suddenly become an electrician, engineer, or a data center owner. Cloud providers basically say, relax, we'll handle the infrastructure and you focus on building your product. So instead of physically owning giant computers, giant resources, computing resources over the internet, you just rent them and build from scratch. So that's much faster, much easier, and much cheaper. That's what I could, that's the best I could explain it in layman terms and in actual terms.
थोड़े और क्वेश्चन दे रहा है ना.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
He's asking about why should I study it as a student, and how will this help me in the long goal of getting married?
Yep, as I said, see, there are I mean, obviously now this can be my session itself because this guy has too many doubts. So we had a lot of domains, right? We had AI, ML, we had cyber, we have web dev, we had I'm not sure if you have mobile dev, but yeah. So when you look at all of these, every field now touches cloud. So it's like you talk about AI, you will need cloud. You talk about cyber, you will need cloud security. You talk about web development, you'll need cloud to host your website. You talk about any web domain that is active right now requires cloud for various facilities. Like as I said in my previous answer, even startups today they launch their products globally, even without owning a single physical service. Before it was like companies needed huge infrastructure, but now even few developers with cloud services they can build products at such a fast pace. And from a career perspective, obviously cloud knowledge makes you stand out. And there is also a very good reason that is in the next slide, but we'll come to that in the, you can show a glimpse of it in my phone. There's something on the next slide, why cloud over others.
Okay, that's enough, I guess.
And you can
So,
show a glimpse and I'll talk about it. Yeah, that's how we can do it.
okay.
So the thing is, when you're looking at me first, I mean, obviously we are teachers of cloud, but we are also fourth year students who have experienced other domains. We have learned it through our subjects. We have learned it through actual courses. Obviously, it might seem as if we are having a bias towards cloud, but actually, for me personally and in a general consensus, you don't find a single line of code in cloud. That is what motivated me to study cloud.
Me as well.
But
Me as
then when I actually started studying cloud, I realized ki, when you're doing the same amount of effort for I mean, lesser effort and same amount of money, that shows you something that, okay, maybe, yeah, this is worth it. And when you look at salaries, these days you would find that cloud people who are responsible for cloud, either in DevOps or cloud engineers or even network engineers, they earn as good amounts as even cloud engineers. So that's one thing to keep in mind, which will also be coming ahead again. So
well.
does Matt, does he have any more questions or?
Yeah, his last question apparently. Um, he is asking about is cloud actually in demand right now, and
I mean, as I said, it is
how he
massive.
can master it.
Yes, it is massively in demand. Like it's almost all companies worldwide, especially in the Gulf, since I'm from Gulf, and almost all companies these days, they're all of them are moving away from traditional systems to cloud because first of all, it's cheaper, it's scalable, it's flexible, it's faster to deploy, it's easier to manage. And as Imad said, like if something goes wrong, you know that it's not your fault, it's somewhere something went wrong with the people. So the accountability part is also reduced by lot of margin. We think that it might be a small difference, but it's actually you know it actually is making life very easier for companies out there because the entire process is being streamlined at a very high pace. So you might have these questions ki, why can't we just learn coding and ignore cloud? Well, I would respect that opinion, but at the end of the day, it's like, you learn how to cook, but if you refuse how to learn how the entire kitchen works, you cannot, make your app. Like, let's suppose you're an app developer and you code an app, but what if you don't know where it will run? How will the users access it? How will it handle traffic? How will it store data? Or how will it stay online for 24/7 where your app that you yourself coded is not accessible to people who want to access it? So without cloud, your app or the coded masterpiece that you would call would not actually come into existence. So obviously, as I said, we would have a bias towards cloud because we are cloud people. But then when you look at our reasoning behind why we chose to study cloud or why we think that cloud is a very good domain, is obviously because Me personally, no coding. It's easier to learn. It has three vendors, but all of them, as Imad said, and as is the general consensus, if you learn one, you can operate all three within a few 2 3 weeks time frame ka difference. You get familiar with all of them. It's more about the use case, the company, the preference, and obviously a personal bias of where we started, and all this comes into picture, and this is why cloud would be a very good domain to start with, especially if you're not into coding. That's what I could say
All right.
my side. Yeah.
So, Asim Patel has been raising his hand for a long time now. Asim, you want to say something?
Suppose a company on an environment could disregard all access. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Cloud has been made in such a way that it is accessible from different continents, different instances, and it has to be accessible, which is why it has been. This is where the concept of replication comes in. Replication or redundancy, one of those.
Redundancy.
Yes, redundancy. So this concept basically इसका सबसे easy method ये है कि like let's suppose हमारे पास databases है, okay? One is in Australia and one is in Canada. I'm just giving very random countries, okay? So let's suppose Australia ka server goes down. We'll have Canada ka server up and running right away. That's a backup server. These all operations are being provided by cloud, which is why it is more beneficial. Like let's suppose we decide in traditional systems where we would have our own data centers. This is something that we would have to ensure कि एक अगर हमारे ऑफिस के पीछे है, and dusra, and if what if we did not have the other, if this server were to burn down, our entire company would go down. But this redundancy process that is being done, this is also being handled by cloud platforms today, that we do not that we do not need to take care of. This is something that the cloud providers are doing for us.
All right. So, Umar, let me just handle this question which Asim Patel asked in a more simpler and a more organized manner. You can answer Curious Coder in chat. And Asim, you are asking about a private cloud far, far away. Okay. Well, suppose Dusra continent. While accessing something from your private cloud, we get a time delay or latency. Then that contradicts the sole fact of cloud computing. See, you have your private cloud, okay? Your private cloud is in Europe. You are in India, okay? Your private cloud is in Europe, and when you try to access that private cloud, if something happens to that private cloud, it goes down. It is not usable anymore. So you start panicking. What you do, you do not at present, you do not have the concept of redundancy. And actually, I feel like your question is framed in while accessing something from my cloud. What do you mean by my cloud? Uh, I You're talking about private cloud, and then you go into accessing stuff from my cloud. So are you referring to your private cloud, or a public cloud? We are talking over here, we are in the context of public cloud. So when you have your private cloud, you only own some of your infrastructure, which is in a different continent. When you try to access that, there is going to be latency. If something goes wrong in that infrastructure, you are going to be facing problems. There's no concept of redundancy. When you use public cloud, everything is redundant, everything is safe, and if something does go down, it is the cloud provider's responsibility. And the time delay and the latency, yes, it is there. It is fractional amount of time which is used to access your private cloud. It is far more better than public clouds. Latency and time delay is far more lesser than private cloud. Private cloud are comparatively slower, in my opinion, because over here you can go to the cloud console, click a few buttons, and then you're done. Over there, you gotta manage your own passwords, manage your own infrastructure, manage everything, set everything up, and worry about configurations and etc.
Okay, Mad, are you done with the? Okay, Asam is satisfied with this. So there was this doubt which I did not answer through chat because I was a bit lazy to type. But yeah, securing, I mean, explain cloud and cybersecurity. So when you look at cloud, we know what is cloud. Now, cybersecurity is securing digital systems. Now, I know this might sound very lazy answer, but cybersecurity in cloud is basically securing your cloud infrastructure, the computing resources, the databases, the APIs, the computing resources, because these are critical components that that power the entire companies and organizations. So it is very essential that these computing resources, these databases, are securely stored and only the authorized people are able to access it with the right least cage privileges and yeah, ensuring that the right people have access to the right amount of information. And this is very necessary as these cloud services, we are powering entire organizations at scale. We are talking about people's PIIs, personally identifiable information at stake. We have hospitals informations, we have new products information, that all these information need to be securely stored and securely accessed by only authorized people. So obviously, this is another section that I think will be coming up next. But if not, I would like it to be known that when you are an expert in two domains, like suppose I'm good at cybersecurity and I know what is cloud, and I learn how to secure cloud now, this is obviously a very good thing for your portfolio because these have salaries that go as high as $250,000 per year. So
That is not a
because
joke.
you're
So
multi-skilled, multi-talented, you're good at both, you know how network works, you know how to secure those networks. So that's an added advantage. So yeah, obviously you guys, I think we'll be coming on to it next. So yeah, stay tuned. I hope that answered your question. It was a very generic answer, but it was pretty much it. That was what it meant.
all right. So any more I like these type of questions, man. I like the interaction. It feels nice. And if we have any more questions, we can definitely entertain those. If not, we have Rohina. Any questions, Rohina? Any questions? Okay, I guess not. So we moving on to the oh my bad, फिर से stop share कर दिया एक second. Hmm. Hmm. My screen is visible, correct?
Yes.
Umar, answer the question in chat. Let me start the next slide. So we are running out of time. So Umar, please handle the chat.
Yeah, sure, I'm on it. I will just answer it.
Okay. So the next career question we have is, what are the certification tracks in the field of cloud when you are trying to gain valuable experience? This is for Abdul Khalil as well. This question, I want everyone to listen very carefully. If you want to get employed, if you want to start out in this field, the thing that matters a lot is, first, hands-on experience. Second is the certifications you have. The certification play a huge role in getting interviews, getting impressing the hell out of your interviewees, and the overall the image you set is based on the certifications you have in this field. Especially if a person does have a lot of certifications, it puts a shine on his resume. So talking about certifications, there are different certification tracks for different cloud providers. For now, we will look it in look. What do you want to do? You want to look at all of the certification tracks, or you want to look at the certification tracks that Azure provides? You can Okay, all of them. Any more? You guys want specific or all of them? Come on, answer. Okay, so everyone's saying all. So we'll go ahead and look at all of the cloud certifications. Let's go ahead and start with Azure because I'm biased and I like Azure. Um, Let me hold on. Let me share my screen. Okay, is my screen visible, Umar?
Yes.
Okay. So when you talk about Azure, correct? When you talk about different cloud providers, I do not want you to differentiate or discriminate against one another. All of them are good. All of them are having advantages and disadvantages. Your personal bias, it's fine. I don't mind about your personal biases, but there are three cloud providers. Three of them are absolutely amazing in their own way, and all three of them have their own certification tracks, which we need to respect. For me, I chose specifically, I chose Azure. I had my own reasons, and I had my own reason as well behind that. So let me just give you what the brief breakdown of the certification track is. When you're starting out your Azure journey or your journey in cloud, and you want to go ahead and solidify that journey in the field of Azure, you start out with this certification. This certification मतलब ये एक badge मिलता है अपने को. If you pass the certification exam, you get a badge. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the AWS certifications in a minute. Just hear me out, okay? Um, okay. So the AWS fundamentals. This is the certification you start out with, and this is the first stepping stone for each and every cloud enthusiast to solidify his or her skills. At the end of day 7, if you guys are consistent, if you guys are listening to what I'm saying, if you guys have put in effort to go home, do your own research, study for around 1 to 2 hours, I can definitely guarantee that you can pass this certification within a span of 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. That's it. That's all you need to do to get this certification in your on your resume. Is to just listen to what I'm saying, hear me out, and definitely just book your exam. And if you do your self study and get your hands dirty and do your own hands on research, you can get the certification in no time. This is the
Also,
first.
sorry to interrupt, Imad. Yeah,
Yeah.
the thing about one of the reasons why cloud ka, this is also one of the answer. Okay, when you learn coding, when you learn web dev, it is always there is no signified path key. You do this, and you will get a job. No, but the good thing about cloud is obviously as a guarantee nahi hai, but then it is a very high chance that when you follow tracks that cloud providers give, you can directly, I can assure you ki you will get a job, like when you crack the fundamentals, when you
At
do.
least, not even
Yeah,
if you don't, at least you will be able to get an internship, at least an
yeah,
internship.
which is why we love cloud, because
Yeah.
there is a path that we follow and there is a good chance you get a job, and not like आपका GitHub का है, आपका ये कहाँ है, वो कहाँ है. No, none of that. You get a job or you don't get a job, that's it.
Right. So we talked about the fundamentals, and I can guarantee about this easy certification. But if you do not prepare and you rectify and you just mug up everything, बैगन में निकलता है. So moving on from there, I already finished the first one, the fundamentals. I mean, I already cleared that, so I can vouch for that. The second one is the Omar question in the chat, please. Um,
Yeah.
uh, the second one which we have in our route is the Azure Administrator. Next in line is the Azure Administrator. This certification is a two-star certification. You can see it has 2 stars. The first one has 1 star. The two-star certification is an associate level certification which administrators usually get after you clear an exam. The difficulty of this exam is quite high. It is not a fundamental certification. It is a core certification that administrators usually have. It is given by employees who have around 6 to 8 months of cloud experience in the real world, and it is not a piece of cake. This is not something you joke around with. It is a serious certification which adds a heavy weight to your resume. And is the AZ104, this is called the Azure Administrator, or in the certification language we always use the code words, that is the code for the certification, that is the AZ104. um Okay. So the next in line after you pass this, me personally, I also passed this one, alhamdulillah. And the next in line after this for me is the solutions architect. This is the 3-star certification. This is the holy grail. This is the dream of many, and this is an absolute. This is the end of your road for cloud. This certification basically proves that the user knows how to build an infrastructure, manage, and create it from scratch, and also make it such that it is custom tailored for businesses. So you can see it's called an architect for a reason, because you are an architect and you're building infrastructure solutions from the ground up for businesses. So this very solidifies your skills. And if you have this, if Abdul Khalil has this, he's done for basically. Shadi to kaisa bhi. But it is not easy at all, and let me tell you, this certification, people write it after like 1 to 2 years of solid cloud experience in job market, and it is not easy. And me personally, I'm preparing for to write the certification in the month of December. So definitely this is the end where it ends, the road where it ends. Nice little 3-tier certifications. Now you might be wondering what these other certifications are. These other certifications are the different they are different routes, can be written if you guys have interest in AI and data. If you guys have interest in those, you can explore these certification routes as well. But for typical cloud personnel, we follow this exact route: the fundamentals, then the Azure administrator, and then the security. The solutions architect. The security engineer is a good twist as well. Highly respected certification in job market as well. This is the cyber security. If you want to enter the cloud security role, you can write this certification as well. Yeah, you can go ahead and explore these certifications. Moving on. Stop share. Now, these certifications are resources. Did you? We will provide you with the resources, don't worry. It's not there is the resources are provided directly by Microsoft, because the syllabus for these certifications changes often a lot of times. So hamisha you need to be up to date with the syllabus, and Microsoft has a dedication Microsoft Docs section which they post the entire syllabus on, and that is the most accurate resource which is there in the market right now. So that is how you get these type of certifications. Let me tell you, these certifications are not free. They do cost money, and they cost a lot of money. Um, but the problem is, it's definitely worth it. It is once you pass those, you definitely come you are recognized by validating your skills. So they cost money, but it is a good investment. And if you do not pass the certification, the money is not refunded to you. So if you fail, you lose the money. So that is a twist you have there. So let me just move on to the different track. All right. Let me share. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Dikh raha mera screen? Okay. I think dikh raha. So this is the official documentation given by AWS. AWS is quite clear with their certification paths. Um, they have a different approach for their certification paths. You can see here they have individual paths given for different roles like security, networking, AIML, and etc. For cloud, DevOps, data analytics, architecture, etc. So for the cloud point of things, okay, let's just take this example. If you are looking for forward to have AWS on your resume, you can definitely follow one of these paths which are given here. Over here, what we want to what we want to have on our resume at the end is a solutions architect's certification. How do we do that? We have a custom path given here by AWS. The first certification, that is the fundamental of AWS, is the cloud practitioner certification. Easy certification, just like Microsoft Azure. If you listen to what I'm saying and map the knowledge of Azure to AWS, this can be given in a matter of a few weeks. The next certification you have is the AI practitioner. This is an optional. If you want, you can do that, or you can directly jump to the solutions architect associate. This certification is the associate, that is the 2 star जो अपना Azure का था, Azure administrator. That is this is the Azure administrator of AWS. So this is an associate certification. This certification, no joke, this is a difficult one. It is a quite a big fish to fry, but it is doable in the matter of a few months. With proper solid hands-on AWS knowledge, you will be able to crack this certification. Moving on from there, we have the holy grail, that is the solutions architect professional. You can see that all of them are color coded. The gray one is the easy ones, blue not so easy, and the turquoise is the ones which are the absolute professional. So this solution, there are two solutions architect: associate and professional. Associate is the middle one. The professional is the most respected one, the highest above all. This certification is used by architects and IT managers and people who are in the industry for a long time, for like 2 to 3 years. And especially AWS certifications are a bit more confusing than Azure. So you definitely need to have a lot of knowledge about AWS before writing this certification. If you want, you have different other certifications as well, like specialty certifications in Azure, in AWS, my bad. This specialty certifications are testing your skills on AWS. It's nothing different, but they add to your specialty section of your resume. So over here, you have the security specialty certification, which tests your cloud security skills. So you have multiple roadmaps for different career paths. You can definitely look into those as well. We have DevOps as well. We are not looking into DevOps, that's why I'm not mentioning anything about DevOps. But you can definitely do your own research if you are highly interested in those. So someone is here. Hold on. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So yeah, that is AWS. Um, Moving on from AWS, the problem about AWS is, for me, for me personally, if someone asked me why I chose Azure over AWS, I would give the reason about the cost. The Azure certifications are heck a lot of cheaper than AWS. AWS costs a lot of money, and their certifications are very very expensive. And you always have this mentality that if you do fail, God forbid, if you do fail the certification, you lose all of that money, and you always have that in the back of your mind. So the Azure certifications typically start from 3000 for the fundamentals, and for the associate and the expert, the range typically goes to 5 to 5.5K. For AWS though, the fundamental certifications start from around $100. That's around like 8 to 9K rupees for the first one. The second one, that's around 150 or around 180, adding tax. So that is a lot of money for the associate level certification. The expert is, I think, around 150, the same, but it could be higher for a different track. So you do need to do your own research. But the bottom line is a lot more expensive than Azure. So it's the same. It's one on the same, but it's the language and the terminologies are different for each certification. I'm yapping again. मेरे से कोई बात करो ब्रो प्लीज. कैसा ही फील हो रहा. Again I'm going into the dilemma.
Yes, to put it into perspective, it basically means the first exam for both of these have a very huge difference. Regardless, both show कि you have the same skill set in cloud. To put it into the most simplest words, अगर आप Azure का fundamentals निकाले या AWS का cloud practitioner निकाले,
It's one and
both
the same.
both show your basic skill set in cloud, but with a difference of around 8,000 rupees, and that's a lot, which is also among the reasons why we have pushed towards Azure.
Okay. Let me pull up the GCP. Hold on. Okay. Just a minute, guys. Okay. Let me stop the screen share. Okay, it's already stopped. Oh. All right. Now can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Now? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about GCP. Um, One second, guys. Okay. So talking about GCP has a different way for gaining their certifications. They have the concept of badges, and GCP is a bit more newer and a bit more modern, and is the most rapid, uh, is the most बहुत बेसिकली बहुत बढ़ रहा भाई आजकल, बहुत चल रहा है आजकल. तो उसके सर्टिफिकेशंस भी थोड़े अलग हैं. विल लुक एट दोस. फंडामेंटल सर्टिफिकेशंस, यू हैव द क्लाउड डिजिटल लीडर. I know these names are quite kiddish, but they put a lot of weight on your resume. So यहाँ पे fundamental certification is the digital leader. That is the first certifications you need to get for getting into GCP. After you get this certification done, you can move on to the associate certifications. One of the associate certifications, that is the next in line, that usually comes after the cloud digital leader, is the cloud engineer. This certification, again, really difficult to pass. It's not a piece of cake. Like the digital leader can be done in a few weeks. This has to be done in a span of 3 to 4 months, like how the other associate certifications are. So definitely, but if you do crack this, highly impressive, highly respectable certification. After this, usually what cloud engineers and cloud personnel do is they jump directly into the cloud architect section. The cloud architect is the holy grail of the GCP. It definitely boosts your resume to the absolute max. This is done after having around 2 to 3 years of experience. So again, this is the roadmap for the GCP. And what we have here is the first one, the second one, and the third one. That is the foundational, associate, and professional. So again, the GCP certification costs a lot of money, and you have to invest this money into yourself and pass these certifications in order to get these badges. These badges can be then put on your resume to gain attraction from interviewers. Again, GCP is it is considered highly difficult, but not that difficult to the level of AWS or Azure. It is comparatively it's a bit easier to understand because of the modern interface that Google has. Everything is easy to sort out. Everything is calm and chill. It's relaxed. I like GCP in that section, but it is not so much widely used as compared to Azure and AWS. But it's gaining traction though. It's gaining traction. So that is the certification tracks of all three done. I hope you guys are happy. Initially I was just about to show the Azure certification tags, but you guys mentioned about you guys wanting all of them, so just quickly showed all three of them. Now let's just go back to our presentation and just start up with our, I think we can start with our hands-on. Hold on. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start with our first hands-on session. Omar, you can take the stage now, and I will mute myself.
Okay, thank you so much, Imad. Um, so, guys, I hope you guys still have your energy as much as you had on 2 p.m. because now we'll be moving towards the hands-on bit of our day, that is creating our own cloud account. Before I begin, I would like it to be known that we'll be using Azure. As we said, we'll be the thing about Azure is, first of all, आप लोग के certification point of view से it's cheaper. From learning point of view, it's better because we are getting $100 in free credit, so we can play around and experiment. And also because it has a more friendly interface is what our personal belief is. But then having $100 in free credit is something really huge. So obviously we'll be moving towards this. So before we begin, if you guys want to do this alongside me, I would like you guys to go ahead and set up your laptops and have your college ID card with you. I'll give you guys 2 minutes to have your college ID cards with you along with a working laptop. That's all we need for now. And your college mail, but that will be on your laptop, so that's fine. So 2 minutes you guys have. Bring your ID cards, your laptop, and your college mail signed in. So I'll be sending the link in the WhatsApp. Yeah, meet me भेजो. Imad, should I send it? Okay, yeah, I'll send it on both. Both.
You can do that.
Yeah. अच्छा, can you send it on the chat? मैं यहाँ WhatsApp बंद कर लिया because थोड़ा lag हो रहा हूँ laptop. Also, Imad, can you stop sharing the screen?
I will send it in chat. I'll send the YouTube video.
नहीं, YouTube वीडियो नहीं है, Azure का लिंक.
Oh, Azure का link. Okay, sorry, my bad.
Yes, the main cloud computing वाला जो
Sure,
ग्रुप
sure,
में जो मैं भेजा, that one.
sure, sure.
Yeah. This is the how the website is. Okay, so I'll just ask. So is anyone going to tag along, or will you guys do this as an assignment? Because we're supposed to have assignments for you guys on a daily basis. So either you guys can do it alongside me, or you can do it as a homework, as a learning experience later on today. And you can just send us a screenshot over to let us know that you have created an account.
So I feel like it would be better. Uman, mute your mic.
Yeah, one sec.
I think it would be better if we give this as an assignment, because I don't think people are ready with their uh, ID cards and college mail accounts. We understand that, but we will definitely go ahead and give this as an assignment. You guys can just follow Umar's steps right now and replicate that to get your own Azure free student accounts. Part of the partially we also thought about the students, क्योंकि हम लोग AWS का अगर करते थे, there is a free tier in AWS as well, and there is a free tier in GCP as well. But the problem was when you try to set up those free accounts, they are usually asking you for the billing, setting up the billing, which we do not want to do. We do not want to set up billings. They are for billing ka matlab basically you have to give your credit card information and your UPI information, which is I feel like not many of you guys would be down to do that. So part of the reason why that's also why we chose Azure, because they do not need to set up any billing. They do not ask for any credit card information. Just need your student mail IDs and your ID cards. So definitely, if you are from MJ, then you can use your MJCET ID card, or if you are not, then we can go ahead and use your own college mail IDs on mail ID cards as well. अपने MJ में तो if MJ में you have your own mail IDs and you also have your ID cards, so it'll be easy for you to understand. Mumar, we can go ahead and start. Umar.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Let's just get into it. All right. So you guys can just, अगर लैपटॉप्स नहीं है, just गौर से आप आपके स्क्रीन को देखिए. I will show you guys how to do it, and you guys can later replicate it. Or if you're tagging along, Imad will always be there on the chat box if you guys are stuck anywhere, or you can just unmute your mic and ask. So first of all, this is the website where we are going to get our free subscription. So obviously we press this, and this redirects us to a sign up page where we will be putting up our college mail ID. So just give me a second. Okay, it has. Okay, wait. Okay, yeah, wait. We are creating a new account, yes. So if you guys already have a mail with college mail ID, you guys can just log into it. I forgot because yesterday I was practicing with a friend's account and I thought I would enter that. But yeah, since we are signing it up, we'll be beginning again with our college mail ID. So that's just it. Just enter your college mail ID. Make sure the reason why we're using college mail ID and not our personal mail IDs is because we need to verify ourselves as students, and this is the easiest way it happens. So that's it. And wait a second. Okay, wait. We can directly use this. Should we try with a personal mail ID?
might try using a personal. We'll see. There is sometimes technical difficulties that occur from Microsoft side as well. कभी-कभी verification जो है, it is quite slow as well. So we can just show you the general way of how we create things.
It could be because of the same MAC address then. Wait, let me just try a complete. दूसरा पर्सनल मेल आईडी जिसमें probably नहीं है.
Yeah, do that.
I have a lot of Gmails as well. Let's try one with is most probably not being used. Okay, this one is also used for practice. Wait. Okay, so let's check. Our second step is to verify and just use my phone for the verification, and that's 755-186. Yep, this is just your basic details that you guys need to fill up. So you put in your personal information, that is the birth date and your country,
Make
region.
sure all of these details are absolutely correct because वो लोग थोड़ा background verifications करते हैं.
Yes. Just give us a second.
Okay, so this is the academic verification page. Make sure you put all of your details in a correct manner because both background verification होता है इसमें and if you mess up even one अगर गलत फॉर्म डाल दिए and वो एक बार गलत हो गया तो आपका IP एड्रेस blacklist हो जाएगा.
Yep.
So keep that in mind and do
$100 worth of credit waste चले जाते. So make sure you do this very carefully. And yep, school name is obviously our college name. Actually,
make sure the spelling is correct and
yes.
yeah, copy. It's a good way to copy it exactly from Google.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm a bit lazy, but this works as well as long as it's correct. That's what's important. Make sure you remove the full stops and extra spaces. And yep, here you provide your date of birth again. That is 50. Acha, wait, it's month. 15264. And here you enter your college mail over here. Okay.
I know it's a bit long. It's a bit long process, but it's going to be
But
worth.
it's a very simple process. It's more or less just like the one,
College
like
mail is not.
any
College mail
social
नहीं.
media.
College mail नहीं होगा.
Huh?
College name सही नहीं है. I mean डाले नहीं. ऊपर
Okay.
देखो.
Okay. So,
Yeah,
okay.
this one. First one. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys. You don't need to even copy paste. I think our college is already available on their interface. You just
Yeah.
need to. Yep. I forgot about that. So just verify name, last name, country, school name, birth. Yep. So that's it. And you verify your academic status and you wait.
Usually ये करने में थोड़ा time लगता. The your profile is being verified by Microsoft. ऐसे ही खुला $100 किसी को भी नहीं देते वो लोग. They do proper verification on your student status and all that.
Okay. So
Open
let's see
it.
if I have received a student. Yep. So should I share them? Okay, I'll just share this as well, but you guys, my screen is visible, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because now I'm showing the mail that I've received.
So you get this type of mail.
Yep. And you will have a total time of 5 days where you should probably do it, because sometimes ऐसा होता है कि they just blacklist you and you do not get a second chance again. So make sure you just take this. Since I'm in working already in incognito, I'll take it back to incognito and I'll open it here. We'll just wait for the steps to upload. The thing is, the process is long, but it's quite simple. It's just basic steps that you need to follow as mentioned in the website. That's it. So everything is automatic. They check your profile, they check. Yep,
Okay, that is it, I guess.
that's it. And done. You are now
You,
eligible.
you have to log in to
Yep.
your Azure account. Type I type click Azure, Umar. Click Azure.
Sorry?
Azure on Azure tab.
Yes. And
Get started with Azure. Pay as you go.
no, wait, this takes us back to the
Wait, okay, so go back and try to just go ahead and go on Google and just type login Azure login.
console login,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sign in now. Yeah, this is your Azure portal. So basically, now you have
Yep.
officially gotten your $100 credits, and let me you can redeem. You can see basically, Umar. Just stop sharing your screen. Let me show them how.
Okay.
Hmm, okay. So can you guys can see my screen, right? Can you see my screen? Okay. So my Azure is being loaded right now. This is my Azure account, and this is already using the student credits. Unmute yourself, please.
Sorry, one second.
You can see over here the credits I have. That is 9,447 rupees. That approximates to $100 in USD. So as of now, I do not have any amount which I have incurred upon Microsoft, but this is a very huge thing which I want to give you as a very big disclaimer that कभी भी कोई भी क्लाउड में जब अपन कोई चीज़ सर्विस अपन कुछ डिप्लॉय कर रहे मेक श्योर दैट यू नो व्हाट यू आर डूइंग बिकॉज it can give you a huge बहुत बड़ा बिल आ जाता अपना, अगर इफ यू डोंट स्टॉप इट एंड डिस्ट्रॉय इट एट ऑन टाइम. तो अगर अपन डिप्लॉय कर देके भूल गए, it can give you some serious bills, and these bills are legally binding. They can officially file a court case against you if you don't pay them as well. So बहुत मुश्किल रहत हो जाती है अगर अपन डिप्लॉय करके भूल गए तो. ऑलवेज whenever you are deploying something, always whenever you are done practicing, or whenever you are stopping, or when you are logging out, always destroy all of your resources. The basically destroy matlab delete. In the terms of cloud we say destroy. So um, keep that in mind. And currently, if you do follow all the steps correctly, you will have $100 in credits, and we can go ahead and start with our hands-on sessions tomorrow, kal kaisa bhi. And as of today, if you guys do follow, if you guys do create your own accounts, give yourself a pat on the back, because that's the first step anyone does to learn cloud computing. And we can go into deeper hands-on level in the upcoming sessions. So definitely look forward to that. And let me just go back to the PPT and see what Abdul Khali is doing. All right, so I think that is the end of the hands-on session. It was just a quick hands-on session, not really confusing, pretty straightforward. The link is given in our chat, WhatsApp message, WhatsApp chat, as well as the chat in this Google Meet as well. Then if you follow the steps, pretty straightforward, nothing much to worry about. Now that comes with the final recap, final bullet point of our agenda, the recap and Q&A. So the things which we discussed today were the fundamentals of cloud. What is cloud? What are the different cloud models? What are the different service models? um, the shared responsibility model, and different different certification tracks, why cloud is necessary, and etc. So 1 minute, guys. Just give me a minute. I'll be back. So
Until then,
so sorry for the interruption. Just
yep.
one.
Can you stop presenting? I can explain the portal का procedure. बाकी का जब तक. Okay, Madha's gone. Anyways, I will
So
become
sorry for
the.
that, guys. You want me to stop my share?
Yep,
Okay.
just for a second because for a second थोड़ा clueless हो गए थे हम लोग because yesterday I had logged in from my friend's account and I did the procedure. It was the same procedure. You go to the portal first. You start from there for Azure for students. यहाँ पर you fill all the details. आपको फिर you get a mail on your college mail ID like this. Once that is verified, you type in Azure portal, like how we typed on Google, log into my Azure portal where we came here. And फिर again यहाँ पर बता रहा था कि we still don't have credits. It says start. So you click on this start and it takes you to a procedure again where you click start free again and you fill in a particular details. And once you are done with that, you get your credits, $100 credits. I know this was supposed to be showed on screen because you guys are the beginners, but it happened as such ki some part of it was just a loading screen that was happening. But yeah, once you fill up the same details again, you have your $100 credit over here. The ID card is not necessary. You can directly just type in your college mail and verify it through a OTP, and you will have your $100 credit on your account. That's it. So to put it into simple steps again, step one is this website where you start free and put in your details. Step two is this mail that verifies that your mail is connected with the actual person trying to make an account. Step three is you go to Google, you search for Azure portal that brings you here. You sign in from here and you will come across a portal like this. There you click start as your first students, and step 4 is where you have the $100 credit in your account. So yeah, you don't directly need to start with your college mail ID. You start with a personal mail ID, and you can link it later on with your college mail ID. That's it. That's a very simple procedure. It's like setting up any social media account, but just with longer waiting hours of loading. That's it. Not hours, minutes. That's it. So yeah, it's a very simple procedure. I hope it was clear.
So
Um,
sorry for also
yeah.
disappearing like that. Moving on, we discussed about, one second, let me just pull up the PPT. We discussed about the shared responsibility model. After that, Abdul Khalil had a few questions. We answered those, um, and we moved on. And we spoke about the certification tracks for individual AWS, GCP, and Azure. Um, the After that, we had our hands-on session, which where we learned how to create a cloud account without setting up the actual billing or the credit card information or adding any sensitive data which you guys might not want to. And After that, we moved on, and now we're here. So at present, after the entire session, anything you guys have, any doubts, any questions you want to ask, you can do so right now. It can be of any section of any four bullet points, any three bullet points, it's fine. And for the assignment, you guys will have to make your own Azure accounts, either student accounts, or if you guys want, if you are as seriously dedicated, you guys can dedicate by connect. You guys can make your account by create setting up the billing, but keep in mind though, you will be billed for you for whatever resources you set up. So keep that in mind. If you're not using Azure for students, you will be charged on your credit or UPI. Moving on from here, we you guys will have to create your Azure account. That is one of your assignments, and all of the assignments submitted by students are being tracked by our HRs, and the lack of interest and the lack of not doing assignments and not attending sessions is strictly noted, and will definitely hinder your possibilities of getting the certificates. So definitely make sure you're highly interactive, highly interested in what you're doing, what you're learning. You're learning something which is new, which is unexplored by many. I understand that, but definitely put in your interest, show your interest in these sessions as well. So, any questions you guys have as of now? Nothing. Okay, I think everyone is okay. So nobody has any questions. I'm happy about that, and that means I hope that means that the session was quite clear. I would take it in such a way, because nobody has any questions. That means everything was clear, and the teacher was absolutely amazing. You know, he was nice. He was handsome as well. And so we move on to the final part of the end of day one. We have Abdul Khalid back here. I don't know where he was the whole time, but I think he learned something. But make sure you do join for the upcoming sessions to know his story a little more, and see if he finds the love of his life, and if he gets married or not. Let's see. Even I don't know, but we'll know together. So definitely, that was the end of day one. Hope you guys enjoyed the session. I hope you understood some new topics, some new complex terminologies. I hope you guys written them down, and your hands-on session, definitely go ahead and do that. And if you guys do have any problems, again I'm repeating, you can reach out to me or Umar. The hands-on queries can be reached out to Umar as well. Definitely go ahead and do that. Questions, concerns, anything of that sort can be ask to me, Umar, or anyone from the GB. All in all, it was a nice long session. I hope you guys understood everything I said. And if anyone has any doubts, again, you can reach out to me now, or if you guys are done, we can end the session now and we can start leaving. Final call. Does anyone have any questions? I guess not. Then you guys can start leaving. Thank you so much, guys, for attending, and I hope to see you in the next session. Bye bye.